Welcome to episode 10 of the TV Autopsy, slicing its way through the series you love. Hello, ladies.
Hello. It's a Robbie Burns night tonight.
Oh, you know what? This is no reflection on Scotland, but I've never liked Burns night. And it's because I find the whole kind of time of year quite depressing. And I just find it a very difficult night, and I was really excited tonight.
A difficult night.
I know. I always
to have a wee dram of whiskey.
I know. I don't do it, but it seems really odd. But do you know what? Today I thought, oh my God, I've got through January and I've missed Burns night. Brilliant.
And now Deborah's just hoisted it upon you.
Beforehand, it was like everyone started talking about it. It's like, oh no. So yeah,
there is nothing depressing about Burns night.
Isn't Robbie Burns a bit depressing as a poet?
No,
is he not?
No.
Can you give us a bit?
Get yourself educated. We
didn't do Scottish poetry at our school.
Well, I was in Scotland up until the age of 8, so you know.
So go on then.
My ancestry goes back hundreds and hundreds of years.
Well, everybody's ancestry goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. How do you think we got here?
What
a ridiculous thing to say.
Sentence.
In Scotland, Deborah. In Scotland.
Yes, in the Midlothian, Edinburgh area. Hundreds of years back, I've managed to trace back.
So we got you an ancestry gift, didn't we? What is it? How does it work?
Ancestry.com.
Yeah, do you just put your name in and it does it all for you, or do you have to do stuff?
No, you have to do your digging. You have to have some information, and then you get hints, and you go further back in.
It's like the crystal maze.
It's very good, and I've managed to go back to the 1400s, and
have you really?
Wow.
Absolute purebred Scots.
Hold on a minute.
Are you related to a king yet? Because have you picked the wrong arm?
You haven't missed anything and just got back to. You've got a clear line back to.
I am the first member of my family to be muddied by different blood, i.e., non-Scottish blood.
That makes sense.
By having the Spanish mud mixed in. But yeah.
I don't want to say the term mudblood because it's very offensive, apparently.
Apparently so. I have a mudblood.
I think Deborah went there first.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that's a wonderful segue to start us off with our little Christmas review, which is a bit late, I guess, but we're just going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've been watching recently. Yeah. And I thought we might as well kick it off with the Harry Potter reunion. Did anyone watch that?
I did.
I did.
Wonderful. I mean, for starters, flipping heck. Who'd have thought it's 20 years since they started?
20 years.
Yeah, I had a little blub, a little tear.
Did you?
It was quite emotional in places.
It was emotional.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Heart of stone.
Who do you think came across? All right, hold on. What was better? Friends reunion, Harry Potter reunion?
Probably. Oh.
Well, the Harry Potter reunion did not have Justin Bieber in it, so it's already in the
Yeah, that was all a bit weird, though, that was. James Corden doing his thing.
Oh, yes, Corden ruined it. Who do you think came off? Who do you think came out the best then in the Harry Potter world?
Oh, I don't think any of them came out badly, though, did they?
No.
Really? Julie Walters did. She didn't bother turning up.
Well, there were a few people that were missing.
The guy who played the uncle, he wasn't in it.
Well, he's dead.
Sirius Black?
No, he was in it. The other one, yeah.
Richard.
Richard.
Yeah. He's dead.
He died, didn't he?
Oh,
yes.
Well, just yeah.
I mean, he could be excused.
Okay. I quite liked that. I was very intrigued by the relationship between Hermione and
That's what I was thinking about.
Malfoy. Hanging out all the time.
Well, she had a massive crush on him, didn't she?
Yeah.
He was a couple of years older, which is massive when you're that age.
Yeah. And they love each other.
I don't know if I really bought the thing that she was going to leave either. I think that was probably.
But I remember that I think there was a risk.
I bet she got
17,
so many
18.
more millions to stay. It was very, because it was just after that. So it was when the contract broke, I imagine, wasn't it?
But she'd already made an awful lot of money, so you've kind of got to think
enough money.
If she's in a bad place because of it, and it's not.
She's kind of shirked acting as well, hasn't she? I think she's going down the more active.
She was in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
she's done a few bits, but she's not. I mean, she's not like Daniel Radcliffe in absolutely blooming everything. And controversial opinion, he was never Harry Potter for me.
What?
No.
Who was Harry Potter for you?
I don't know, but I deeply disliked him as Harry Potter.
Oh my God, that's a bit harsh.
Oh, deeply disliked is
don't think he could act.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but we all thought that.
That's a horrible thing to say. You know what?
When
I watched the first couple of films. Sorry, Deborah. I watched the first couple of films just before Christmas. And I thought everyone criticises, those kids were brilliant.
Hermione was brilliant. And Rupert Grint was brilliant. And all the other kids were brilliant.
Well, I disagree. I mean, when we went to see it, first of all, we very noticeably thought the kids were a bit shit, and obviously everyone else, all the adults, all the legends that there are in Harry Potter were amazing.
Obviously haven't taught enough bad.
Hermione for me was never right.
Hermione for me was the embodiment. Emma was the embodiment of Hermione for me. I was just like, that is exactly as I imagined her.
I imagined her more like Marmalade Atkins, a bit more buck-toothed, properly frizzy hair, not noticeably crimped with a crimper hair, that kind of thing.
Well, she started off with frizzy hair. I think you've all been
in the end, Emma Watson is amazing, and I love her. In the end, you get used to it.
Mortified.
Was there any revelations in it for you?
No, it was lovely. I tell you what, I quite liked the format in that it picked the directors and the films that they did, and then it didn't have any annoying Harry Potter related people trying to string it all together Corden. So it's quite
didn't invite me on.
Now you've got a wand.
I was missing.
Have you got a wand or something, Deborah?
I don't know, actually, in the Harry Potter world. Possibly.
I'm sure I remember you telling me you had a wand somewhere.
Potentially, yes, because they've got everybody that's credited with a wand in that big room in the Harry Potter world, and supposedly I'm there.
There we go.
But I don't know this story. What
so it's about a boy wizard whose parents kill.
I was in the second to last film, so Deathly Hallows Part 1. I was a Mystery of Magic Witch.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, then you absolutely must have your wand.
I was in Les Miserables, the film.
Are you?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Singing and dancing and stuff.
Wow.
Well, I was supporting people, supporting some actors with learning disabilities. They dressed me in rags and made me stand outside in the cold in January until 4 in the morning. I was not a very happy person. Didn't give me shoes. Didn't give me any shoes. But Russell Crowe was quite nice. He could drink a cup of tea while riding a horse, which is not an easy task.
Okay.
So, have you been in any films, Meg?
No. I feel like I'm letting the side down. So maybe at some point I might try and rectify that.
Right, so I think instead of giving these scores, why don't we give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Or what do we think about Potter?
I'm all right with that.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up.
It got a thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, who wants to go next? Who's got another offering for us?
Go for it, Meg, go.
So, just before Christmas, I got a new phone. And with my new phone came 3 months free Apple TV subscription.
Yes.
So I piled on into Apple TV, which I have consistently avoided because can't be asked to pay for yet another subscription. And let me tell you, first on my list, got a bit of a list, but first on my list is The Morning Show.
No, I've heard bits about it.
Yes, I've heard a bit about it.
Right.
Tell us what it is.
Yes, let me tell you. So this is, we've got Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell, joined by loads of other familiar faces. Jennifer Aniston plays Alex Levy, a long time established TV anchor woman, and she would anchor.
Can you see that, my dog?
I can hear.
Can you go out of the room, please, dog? No. Sorry, carry on.
She's a very long-term, very famous, like #1 anchor woman for the morning show in America, and she partnered with her co-host Mitch, who in the morning show, in the beginning of this TV, he basically gets discredited as part of the Me Too movement and gets fired for his predatory behaviours. And in the fallout, Reese Witherspoon, playing Bradley Jackson, is playing a scrappy field reporter who is the back end of who knows where.
What the hell? Has your dog learned how to walk on 1 or 2 feet?
You've been feeding it after midnight.
You keep looking to the side as if it's standing next to you. Right.
She is standing next to me on the sofa. I'll put myself on mute. You carry on.
All right. So is this a bit like the Harvey Weinstein stuff?
So it's basically the fallout from Harvey Weinstein, the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Mitch Kessler has been sacked very, very publicly, and basically it follows these characters as they kind of carry on without him. And Bradley Jackson, who's played by Reese Witherspoon, she's some sort of like scrappy field reporter from the back end of who knows where in America, and through various complex reasons ends up co-anchoring with Jennifer Aniston. And it's
a bit like what happened in Strictly Come Dancing when Bruce Forsyth died.
Except Bruce Forsyth is still a national treasure.
Right, you're not a success.
But basically, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but it is brilliant. It is witty, super fast paced from a dialogue in places. It's poking fun at the media, the irony, the underhandedness, the Machiavellianness of the whole industry. It's got quite a West Wing pace and feel to it in places.
I like the West Wing very much.
Yeah.
Is it funny or is it serious or is it bad?
It's funny.
It has some very definite humour in it. Absolutely hilarious clangers. There's it's just brilliant.
I don't think you could go wrong with either Reese Witherspoon or Jennifer Aniston, right?
No, and they're not
Steve Carell.
Yeah, and my mind's gone blank as to which I will just double check, because there's the main Corey is played by and I thought I'd written his name down but I didn't. Billy Crudup is excellent. He is superb, and he kind of makes it. He's just this absolute chaos demon in there, and it's brilliant. So season 1 ramps up to one of the most amazing season finales I have ever watched.
Oh, wow.
Utterly transfixing.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant. Couldn't stop watching it. The Guardian review of it basically said that it was operatic, and it was slamming from dramatic high to dramatic high until you think there's nowhere else to go, and then it finally strains for a grace note so audacious that it floors you. It was phenomenal.
I want to see this now. You've sold it.
So good.
It's only available on Apple TV, is it?
Yes.
But you can buy, because I was considering whether to ditch everything and just keep Amazon, because you can buy anything from Amazon.
Listen, I think you can get it for like $4.99 for a month, and it's worth it, because I've got another recommendation that's on Apple. Like, I reckon you could binge it for a month or two, and totally make it worth your while. It was so excellent. Season 2, we haven't even touched on it. It's brilliant.
There's 2 seasons already?
Yes.
Just on that, I mean, there is a way to get around, if you're very canny and you've got, no, it doesn't take that long, I guess, but you could rent, you could get Apple for a month and then Netflix for a month and then blah, blah, for a month. You could kind of go around the houses like that if you wanted to and save it.
We're all just too lazy to do that, and we want to watch it when we want to watch it, don't we?
Yeah, I just did that whole thing that you can do with Now TV today, where I said, I'm going to leave, and they give it you for half price for 6 months, which is
So I might do that. But I don't watch Now TV that often, but I thoroughly recommend. I think you could give yourself a month or two on Apple TV, or if you get a new iPhone or whatever, it comes wrapped up with 3 months freebie.
Well,
brilliant.
All right, well, we'll come back.
So you'd give that 10 out of 10, would you?
Oh yeah,
my God, it was phenomenal.
Thumbs down. Thumbs up.
Okay. Massive thumbs up.
Good stuff.
So mainly I saw 1, 2, 3, 4 things. The IT Crowd.
Don't give them all away. Just tell us the first one. Otherwise, it's going to be exciting.
Oh, well, I thought
the IT Crowd. Nice tell us about that then.
No. Let me tell you about Anne.
Well, now we know 2 of them.
Okay, so Anne. Anne was it's an ITV drama that came out in January. It's about the story of Anne Williams, who is played by the utterly amazing Maxine Peake, and it focuses on the fight for justice for the 97 victims who were unlawfully killed in the 1989 Hillsborough disaster, including her son Kevin.
Now, Maxine Peake, she played Myra Hindley, didn't she? In is that right?
Maybe.
I think so. I think she definitely played her in the Moors Murders thing that I saw. What else has she been in? Was she in Bad Girls? Was she in Bad Girls?
She's been in loads and loads of things. She's been in loads and loads of things. She's in something at the moment called the something policey, the right something that's being advertised at the moment. But she's utterly amazing. The FA Cup football match between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest in April 1989 was held at Sheffield's Hillsborough ground, and there was 96 fans that were crushed to death in what's now known as the worst incident in the UK's football history. So it's utterly it's in 4 episodes.
Who does she play?
She plays Anne Williams. So Anne Williams is the mother of one of the victims. Her son Kevin Williams, who was 15, was killed in the crush, and she was this campaigner, if you like, for almost a quarter of a century, challenging the official narratives around the disaster, specifically the claim that Kevin was not alive beyond a certain time of the day, 3:15, and so could not have been saved. This is all untrue.
It's unbelievable how long it took, you know.
Awful.
It's the same with the Stephen Lawrence inquiry. Years and years and years and years. And these people who are fighting for justice.
So it was claimed that an exit gate was opened to relieve the crowds, which resulted in 2,500 fans entering the stadium. And this overcrowded the already full pens and caused this fatal crushing. So what followed was decades of the victims and their families seeking justice and an explanation for how this tragedy could have occurred. There was an inquest in 2016 which finally concluded that the 96 victims were indeed unlawfully killed. And in 2021, the last victim died 32 years after suffering serious injuries. So he was the 97th victim. But sadly, Anne Williams, who campaigned for, all this time, she died in 2013 before the new inquests concluded that those who did die were unlawfully killed. So this miniseries is made by the creators of Line of Duty. It aired for 4 consecutive evenings on ITV. The first episode was the hardest to watch. I felt absolutely sick to my stomach with nerves, with the anxiety from start to end. What we see is Anne Williams going through all the emotions of trying to find out if her 15-year-old son was okay, to finding out that she'd lost him, and then just the sheer agony of her trying to establish the facts as to how he died and why he died, and also when he died. So then the following episodes document how she then spends 25 years challenging, and it really is a story of solidarity in the face of injustice, unending parental love, how grief is a burden but an inspiration that kept her fighting. Maxine Peake is an absolute triumph in it. She's heartbreaking, powerful, It leaves you weeping. You know, so many times the governments, the police, the media response, just so horrifying how they made it out to be, oh, the Liverpool fans' fault. They were getting drunk. It's all their fault. It wasn't the police's fault. Blah blah blah. You know, lots of. I mean, it's almost too much to bear to watch, but it's a vital watch because we all lived it. You might remember where you were when it happened. I certainly do. I was 12 when it happened. But you know, the fact that the media and the police spun so much of it over the years that it was not their fault and they couldn't do anything about it and nobody could be saved, it's all a pack of lies. So watching these 4 episodes really brings home to you the established facts and what actually did happen and why it's taken so long to come out. And it's written by Kevin Sampson, who was a Liverpool fan and who was actually there. He survived the disaster, but he writes with a lot of compassion and knowledge. And the director, Bruce Goodison, he cut in and edited archive news footage and clips from the game itself. You know, Des Lynam and Jimmy Hill discussing the game. Margaret Thatcher announcing that there'd be an inquiry. And even though there was corruption, certainly for senior, you know, from the top, the writer does, you know, put in a lot of humanity around the police officers who had to tell the relatives that their loved ones were dead, who had to change their statements, were forced to change their statements because it looked so unfavourable. So, you know, for me, this was a proper TV drama. It had everything in it. It was unrelentingly sad, angry, tense, wonderfully acted, very painful to watch. You know, 9 out of 10, I'd give that. The reason why I'd give it 9 out of 10 was because I wasn't too sure about Maxine Peake's wig. If it wasn't for such a bad
and that's
wig.
a lot of weight to your place. That's 10% of your score on a wig.
10% on wig.
On a wig.
I wasn't going to mention this because it's a film, but it, just a quick segue. There's a film that's out on Sky. It's a Sky original called Mass, which I watched the other night, and I think it's tipped for Oscar nominations. It's got Jason Isaacs. It's and his wife is played by, you know, the girl with the glasses in the Goonies.
Yes.
She's a great actress. She plays his wife, and then you've got Aunt Lydia, who plays another woman, and then this other guy who plays her husband. And basically, it's just about a meeting of these 2 sets of parents, basically, who come to meet because Aunt Lydia's son took a shotgun and blew a load of kids to bits in the high school, and Jason Isaacs' son was one of the kids that were killed. It is so it's an acting masterclass for a start. I mean, is it based on one of the actual shootings like Columbine? I don't think so, and I think that's the right thing to do because there is a line of where it becomes voyeuristic. I think
Martha Plimpton, that's her name. You
don't see anything. Sorry, go on, Deborah. What?
Martha Plimpton.
What's that? Oh, is that her name?
That's her name, yeah.
You don't see anything. It's all done through through just them talking to each other. But oh my god, it's good.
Oh.
So what's it called? Mask?
Mass.
Mass. M-A-S-S.
Mass.
But so it's a film, but
it's a film.
Okay. Yeah, but I thought I'd put that in there because it's really.
It's on the telly box, so it's technically TV.
We'll let it go. Right, just to lighten the mood, I've got a little bit of news that I wanted to ask your opinions on. You might not have one at all, but have you heard that Coronation Street and Emmerdale Farm, or Emmerdale as it's called nowadays,
yes,
are going to war to destroy and kill and maim EastEnders?
What do you mean?
So,
well, I've heard that they were changing the
time slots are all changing. Deborah, you're going to miss Coronation Street.
But why? I watched Coronation Street after 3.
Yeah, what I read was that it's off the back of ITN changing the news format.
Yeah, so they've now got an hour's show.
So they're doing 6:30 to 7:30 news, and then
Emmerdale at 7:30 till 8.
Yeah, and then 3 nights a week.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Corrie is going to be an hour, so we're getting 3 hours of Corrie.
Right when EastEnders is on.
No, but that's fine, because at the moment we still get an hour of Corrie Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we have it's half an hour
the point
each.
is it's going head to head with Coronation Street with EastEnders. They want to kill
Who
EastEnders.
cares about EastEnders?
Well,
EastEnders is
that's
dead to
the
me
point.
now.
That's the whole point of the story. ITV are going out to, and I think it will finish EastEnders off.
Really?
I think at the lowest point last year, it had under 2 million viewers. Oh no, was it 200,000 viewers? I think.
No,
200,000. It was really very low. I mean, I thought they regurgitate. I mean, in the worst way, regurgitate storylines, and the characterizations are awful and two-dimensional.
I've not watched any
I haven't
of them
watched Coronation Street
so long,
but they still have very
Coronation Street,
strong
I'm addicted to.
characterization,
Yeah,
and the writing's a lot better. But yeah, so I think
Corrie has more light
on numbers.
Has a balance on the light touch as well, doesn't it? And a bit of the
it's amazing, and I'm friends with the writers on Facebook, and yes, two of them, and EastEnders, what I ducked out of when just after Roman was born, so 11 years ago now, because they did this awful storyline about baby kidnapping, and obviously when you have a new baby, that's the last thing you want to watch, and from then on, that was it.
But I suppose you could argue that there's always going to be a storyline that was going to put some people off.
And that was it. Never looked back.
I think if they wanted to save it, if I was in charge of EastEnders, that's what I'd do. I would take it off the air for 6 months, because they've built all the set and stuff. They've got all that set there.
They've just launched a brand new set, haven't they?
Yeah, I would rest it for 6 months, and then I would bring it back as an hour drama a week, and really kind of hone down the character, really kind of hone down the family, have 2 or 3 families, and make it very kind of like, if they're going to go down like the shameless route or the kind of quite sinister gangster route. No, I know they're not, but this is my advice to save the show if they're listening. And I would strip it up from the like factory processing line of storyline stuff, and I would make it like a 10-part drama.
Yeah, but that there's so much history. They'll not stop it, because
they will.
That entirely changes the format of it. It wouldn't stand up.
But it would make sure it continue. Well, when it's dead, don't come to me and ask me for my ideas. Okay.
Didn't ask you for your ideas in the first place.
Right, my next one is I watched. So I don't know if you heard about this, but Eric Morecambe's son was going through his dad's stuff in the loft, and he came across a film reel, and it was
I heard about this
tape of that Morecambe and Wise show from the 1970s, 1970 actually, and it wasn't a Christmas special or anything. It was just like a regular show, and you can really see kind of the early. It wasn't brilliant by any stretch of the imagination, but there were some funny bits in it, and it was good. And
they showed it at Christmas, didn't they?
Yeah. The reason I mentioned it was the thing that was brilliant were the special guests, and I put this on Facebook so you can have a look. It had a couple of people. It had Paul Anka, who actually wrote My Way for what's his name, Frank Sinatra. So he comes out and goes, I wrote this for my friend and I'm going to sing it now, and he does this. And then you've got this guy called Kenny Ball, and he's got a band, and they're all trumpeters, or they've all got, it's like a little brass band, but there's about 5 of them, and he does this funny little song, and he sings a little bit, and then he does a little bit of trumpeting, then he sings a little bit. It's brilliant. So it's on our Facebook page. Should we go have a look at it?
What's it called?
Nice.
So that was Kenny Ball playing the trumpet.
No, what's the show? What was the program?
You can't see the show. They've taken it off iPlayer.
Oh.
Because I was trying to find the name of this trumpeter, but I found it on YouTube. So there.
Trumpeter?
Is it? He's a trumpeter, but he's quite a good one. So.
Trumpeter.
Trumpeter.
If you get very good at it, you become a trumpeter.
So did you go trumpet player, trumpeter, trumpeter?
He's got little fat, he's got fat cheeks with like bursts. It's a joy to watch. Anyway,
cool.
There we go.
Wow.
Megan, what's next on your list?
Next up on my list, debating which to go. I'm going to stick with my Apple TV recommendations. I've got loads. I watched a lot over Christmas.
Well, I think 4 each is more than enough, just to warn
Okay, well, that's
everybody.
fine. I've prioritised them. It's fine. Have you heard about the show Ted Lasso?
Yes, I
Heard
have.
about it.
So
It's about football, isn't
heard
it?
about it, lots of references to it in pop culture, and it won loads of what's-its at the Doodos Golden Globes, picked up loads of Golden Globes. It's so again, it's on Apple TV. I'm just trying to find my notes on it. Sorry, yes, it's about an American football coach who comes over to the UK to coach a struggling Premiership football team. He knows nothing about football.
Sounds awful.
And it is genius. Jason Sudeikis plays Ted Lasso. He won a Golden Globe for the best performance with an actor in a TV comedy series. I hadn't realised that it was actually it's set in the UK. And so it's really interesting to see some of the British-American comparisons. It is so funny.
Is it better than Jockey's Giants?
Do
you remember Jockey's Giants? That was
I do remember Jockey's Giants.
And better than Footballers' Wives. It's better than all of this. It is so funny. Do you know what? It's got a bit of the feel of the Schitt's Creek Warm Hug.
Okay.
It's hilarious. It's absolutely brilliant. It's got 2 series, 3rd season in making. It is brilliant, and I just absolutely smashed it.
Are you a football? Do you like football?
I'm not that bothered about football, if I'm honest.
Right, so it makes, because that's the thing that kind of puts me off.
No, it's all that's going on behind the scenes. There's relatively little football
cutting
in
up
it.
the oranges and stuff.
There's the bits of the football that are in it is just to tell other stories. It's so good. Ted Lasso it's just really poignant and sad and hilarious and funny. And some of the characters, Roy Kent, who I think also maybe won a Golden Globe, I'm assuming is a mixed mash of lots of characters, possibly in particular Roy Keane, but who knows, is one of the best TV characters I've ever come across.
Wow. This is a
it.
massive endorsement.
Love.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed.
Those 2 programs, The Morning Show and Ted Lasso, are worth the Apple subscription alone.
Okay. Ooh. This is good to know. This is good.
All right. Double.
Okay. Next up for me is a very British scandal. I don't know if you've heard it, seen it.
Heard of it, did not watch it.
It's another drama, but it's BBC this time, based on a true story also. It's an absolute romp. It's events surrounding the notorious divorce of the Duke and Duchess of Argyll during the 1960s.
Can you explain? I don't know who these people are.
Okay, so all right, so there are 3 episodes. You have Claire Foy, the girl that can do no wrong. She's amazing. You've got
What's she been in then?
Claire Foy. She's in The Crown.
Oh, who did she play The Crown?
She was the young Queen. Elizabeth. Yeah, the young
Queen. Okay. Yeah, I know you.
She was when I first saw her, she was in Little Dorrit, the Charles Dickens reimagination, which was amazing, with Matthew McFadden, and they were fantastic. And then I don't know if you saw Wolf Hall.
She about 10 minutes of it.
She played Anne Boleyn in Wolf Hall. And she was
at your house, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
Very educated.
So Claire Foy, amazing, and there's loads of amazing house porn and lipstick and costume porn in it. Is
it a bit like The Crown?
No, it's she plays a completely different character.
No, I mean, like, production value-wise,
aristocracy. Yeah. So you've got very, very polished, slick. Sarah Phelps is the writer, amazing. The one-liners are a scream. So the Duke and the Duchess of Argyll. So basically, Claire Foy plays this. She's basically high society socialite, and then she meets Paul Bettany, the Duke of Argyll, and then they leave their current partners, wife, husband, and they get together and marry and become the Duke and Duchess of Argyll. So up in Scotland, they've got this amazing big property, which is complete crumbling to pieces. And Claire Foy's family are quite rich. So she wants to really do up this amazing stately home. But Paul Bettany, the Duke of Argyll, is a drunk. He's after her for her money. He's violent. Blah blah blah. He was just landed this dukedom because his cousin died and didn't have any heirs, so he was kind of a little bit distant.
I wish that would happen to me.
I know. So basically, it's just this kind of high society divorce that gripped the nation at the time, and the one-liners are amazing, like this: I'd earn more selling my arsehole on the Glasgow docks, and Maureen always gets her penis out, and canapes and cock. Is there anything else? Well, hopefully dessert. And I dine with men. I meet men. I converse with men. That I have affairs with every single man that I meet. There are only so many hours in the day. And then lastly, but it's not your yawning fanny being shown to the world. It's all ours, isn't it? All bare asses and flapping cocks.
Oh, God.
It's all about that kind of thing. It's very good, worth a watch.
Where did you watch this programme?
BBC iPlayer.
Okay, super.
Nice.
Right. Okay, so a couple left from me. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about staying on the iPlayer. Actually, it's on the BBC iPlayer. It's the Ghosts Christmas special.
Yay! Amazing.
So do you watch Ghosts? I take it the two.
Yeah.
Fan.
Do you know my story about Ghosts? I watched the first couple and hated it. I said it was quite high.
We told you off for that.
Well, did you tell me off, or did I talk about it on here?
I think Glory in the end said you're an idiot. Get watching it.
And then I had a revelation and just think it's brilliant. And Jennifer Saunders played the mother of what's her name? Is it Fanny? I want to say Fanny. She played Fanny's mother. Yeah, and she was brilliant. I love Jennifer Saunders anyway.
Yes,
and so it was lovely to see her in it, and it was just another great episode.
Joyous.
Do you know what? Just before we say that, we were talking about the Crown, weren't we? I just want to say I've got a celebrity connection to that because my actors appeared in one of the episodes. And Deborah, I think you've got a tenuous celebrity connection to Ghosts, do you not?
It's not tenuous. It's the entire writing.
Excuse me.
The entire creative writing team and actors that are the ghosts who I starred with in Horrible Histories.
Well, that's the tenuous bit because it's not ghosts, is it? But I'm just trying to show you, Megan, how connected we are to the world of celebrity. Yeah. This is why that's the problem with being in Devon, you see. Did you like?
Who's in Devon?
Oh gosh, sorry, that's sacrilege, isn't it?
It is.
I couldn't afford
that back.
I couldn't afford to get all the way down to Cornwall.
We know how to eat our scones.
Yeah, I was going to say the scones.
It's very good. Yeah, there's not a lot else to say about it, really.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
What's next?
Do you want my next one?
Yeah, please.
Right, it's a Netflix. I nearly picked it for one of our reviews last year, so I finally watched it. Clickbait.
Okay, yeah.
I was quite shocked it only scores 7.2 on IMDb, given some of the other programs, not the Apple TV ones that I've just talked about, but some of the other ones that I watched and how they scored. But basically, a man is kidnapped and a video is launched online showing him holding up signs declaring himself to be an abusive predator, a rapist, and the last sign states that when the video has been viewed by when it's received 5 million views, he will be killed. And the story starts off being told from the perspective of his sister, who sees it online, and then on different episodes focus and sort of like progress the story, but starting from somebody else's viewpoint. So the wife, the son, the detective, etc. There's various other
Is every episode, is it from a different perspective of a character, did you say?
It kind of focuses a little bit more on somebody else's story, but it's consecutive, so it doesn't go back and retell a bit that you already know from someone else's opinion. Do you know what I mean? There's different ways to do it. It all moves the story on, and it's just an absolutely excellent onion of a whodunit drama. Nothing's what it seems. There's lots of cracking reveals and twists and revelations, and it's got a really very satisfying conclusion. There's a lot of deeply flawed characters that you still are really rooting for, and I would say it's possibly in places maybe a little bit formulaic, but only from the point of view that there are going to be some twists. Like the whole construct, you're like going, well, it can't be as obvious or as straightforward as it's making out. And that would be the only teeny little negative observation, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's kind of a bit of the Black Mirror type feel to it. It's told over a good few episodes, maybe as many as 8 episodes, maybe only 6, but it really was a very, very good view.
And where did you watch this?
Netflix.
Okay, that you've kind of sold me on that.
It's quite an interesting concept.
It was really good, and the characters are definitely not all the most likable. They've all it shines up all of their flaws basically, and none of them come out looking particularly
great.
Squeaky.
Okay, thanks very much. Right, come on then.
Right, so the IT crowd, or the IT crowd.
So this is a comedy from the Channel 4.
Yes, that's right. It started in 2006. They had a season every year after that, up until they've had 4 seasons in total. 2013 was the last season, actually. But yeah, Channel 4. Just basically about the mishaps and misadventures of 3 members of an IT support team who dwell in this dingy old basement within a beautiful, big, shiny, modern London building overlooking, stunning views.
And it features our friend Kelly's mate, doesn't it, Matt? What's his name? Matt, who always does that sort of character.
Yeah, Matt Berry. So
next celebrity connection then.
Yeah, so it's got one of my loves, my deep loves, which is Richard Ayoade, who plays a computer programmer, kind of geek with very few social skills, very highly intelligent. Then there's the work shy Chris O'Dowd, who is so brilliant, and then you've got this kind of department head, if you like, relationship manager, played by Catherine Parkinson, who knows absolutely nothing about IT, and then you have Noel Fielding in it, who plays this kind of goth IT technician who
lives in the back,
lives in the dark server room. And it's got this cult following. Matt Berry's in it. Chris Morris.
It's a bit subversive, isn't it? And it's kind of a little avant-garde, isn't it? A little bit from time to time. I loved it. I really
Noel Fielding in it. It must be, surely.
What is so brilliant about it, and I've always seen it on repeats and stuff, but never sat down to actually properly watch it properly. And so it was Christmas time. I had my son who's 11 and my mother who's not 11, and we were thinking, what do we watch that everyone's going to enjoy? So we just turned on, and you can watch it on Catch Up, or you can watch it on Netflix. And so we watched the whole thing from start to end, every single. There's only 6 episodes per season, and it absolutely thrilled all the generations that sat there watching the TV. So
what was your funniest bit?
My son was cracking up. My mother was cracking up. I was cracking up, but them cracking up, but also cracking up because it's just so silly, but very very easy to watch the jokes, very easy to jump on their avant-gardeness, slightly off-center humour. It's just so witty, brilliant.
Was there a kind of setup or a joke that you really thought, brilliant, that's really funny? I mean, they did that recurring joke, didn't they? You know, every time they rang up the computer department, they say, have you turned it on and off or whatever?
Yeah, and also nobody ever knows what the company actually does. So it's like
Megan's company. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's literally an ongoing gag throughout the whole thing. One minute they are going to be the biggest mobile phone empire in the world because they've bought this. Another one is that they've bought ITV.com, and so on. There's just there's an obscurity about what the company actually does. So that's funny. But just the fact that they're all considered losers and they're all generally ignored. And it was video recording before a live studio audience as well, which at the time was considered very risky. Everybody wanted them to have this canned laughter.
Oh, really? Was it not a sort of
No, it was.
So a lot of TV was filmed in front of a live audience, though, wasn't it?
Well, by that point, I think come mid to late 2000s. I think not, because it was kind of friends.
I saw 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. That was always filmed in front of a live audience.
Wasn't that
Megan,
late
you
90s?
said you had no celebrity connections, and there you are.
Well, I just went and watched it at this. I didn't. When I'll check when that is.
Was that not late? That was not late.
It was 90s. That was it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, was it? What was it? When was Hollyoaks?
Early 20s then.
Hollyoaks started in 94, didn't it? Or 95? 94.
It was 2001 to 2011.
Well, there we go.
There we are.
All right. Well, okay. My final choice, I'm going to kind of cheat again, but it's not really cheating, but it is a bit.
It's a film.
It is a film, but it's a film. It is a film about a TV show. So I thought so it's allowed.
Okay.
It is Meet. Is it? No, not Meet. I keep saying Meet. Being the Ricardos, starring Nicole Kidman as and she plays the woman from I Love Lucy, basically. Do you remember the sitcom I Love Lucy?
Yes.
Yeah, the black and white sitcom. Well, in its heyday, it had 60 million viewers in America watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, 60 million. Things get about 5 million nowadays and stuff. So it was massive stuff. And they tell the story, and they do it really well, because you know how most of the time these days biopics just do like 2 days out of the person's life, and they do it a week of the life of her and her husband, who is a Cuban called Ricky, I think, or something like that.
Ricky Ricardo.
No, was it Ricky? Anyway, he starred alongside her in the show, and it tells, you see her backstory intermittently, but it's a week of her life where on the radio the night before they were due to rehearse the following week, this massive radio star basically outs Lucille Ball as a communist. And this was the whole time.
That was a big nasty word.
Yeah, the Black Committee and all that kind of stuff. So she's fighting off allegations of being a communist. Also, she's pregnant, and they've never had, a baby, or and they're saying, "Oh, look, let's have the baby on the show." You can't have a baby on television. It's disgusting. All this kind of stuff. And then there's another
bloody patriarchy.
Yeah, and there's another storyline about her husband philandering all over the place. So all of this is going on in 1 week of production, but it shows just how meticulous. Nicole Kidman's amazing, isn't it? Really, really good.
Is she?
Yeah.
I'm very, very over Nicole Kidman.
Oh, I thought she did a really good.
I tried to watch that series that she's in currently, the one where
9 Little Fires.
Yeah, nine Perfect Strangers or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Perfect Strangers and Big Little Lies. She's just.
No,
her face stopped moving.
I will give her a chance in this, because I thought she was really very good.
I had to turn off 9 Forgetful Strangers, whatever it's called.
The book was excellent of 9 Perfect Strangers, but I got a bit bored of the TV.
Anyway,
sorry.
Being the Ricardos.
Sorry, Joe.
The reason
I love Nicole.
Reminded me, the guy who played her husband, he basically set up the whole production of that, and obviously there's racism back in the day and all this kind of stuff going on, but he set up the system that
spoiler, there's still racism.
that they used, not he didn't set up racism, but he did set up the 3-camera system that they still use in sitcoms in America to this day, where you can have an audience who can see all 3 sets from their seats, like Friends do it and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's a lovely little film. It's a lovely, very well written, and great. And good on Lucille Ball for getting 60 million views.
Good, Lucille
fair
Ball.
play.
Yeah.
Right, that's me done. Megan.
Right, so if we're limited to 4, which
we are
for time we should be, so my last one then is it's a BBC psychological drama called The Girl Before.
Right, I've seen that advertised.
It's telling the story of it basically has 2 stories running concurrently, and you don't know which way round they occurred. But basically it tells the story of various tenants moving into this phenomenal minimalist tech-enabled house.
Oh, like that program we watched, you know, with those comedians and that woman from the Disney Channel. Only Murders in the Building, that's one.
No, totally no. Super minimalist, like it's just granite and cement, and the rules, if you become a tenant, the rules you have to live by are just, you can't have anything out on show, you can't do all sorts of things. The house is pre-programmed to learn your behaviors, and so the technology responds.
Are we in the future here, Megan?
No, it's kind of it's concurrent, it's current day, but they're really, really, really creepy house rules that the landlord has set, and the landlord is the architect of the house, so the house is, you know,
teched
the
up
character. And a woman moves in and then discovers that a woman who previously lived there died, and she starts to become quite obsessed, trying to work out what happened and who she was and what part the house has got to do with it. And it's really good tension. The house is just mind-blowing. I mean, I would not want to live in it for various reasons, but it is a stunning building. Although the first time I saw it, I was just like, oh, those stairs are a death trap. But yeah, it's another series where the building is a character. All the characters are flawed.
How many episodes are there?
4 episodes.
And does it round everything up? Is it like literally it's a mini series, that's it?
Yes. It's really, again, it wraps everything up very, very nicely. I did see the twist coming, but only right at the very end, when it was perfectly acceptable to pat yourself on the back and go, I worked that one out.
Yeah.
But it was really, really good. Really good.
Right, that's good.
All right.
Episodes as well.
Yeah, that's quite good. Finish us off, Deborah.
Well, no, not too much to talk about, really. We started Succession, so we're halfway through the first series. Succession has Brian Cox in it as the patriarch of the family.
The guy with the planets?
No, the other Brian Cox, the actor, the Scottish actor, actually. But they're all American. It's kind of basically a bit like Rupert Murdoch and the Fox family. Everybody is a very hateful. You just want to hate every single family member who are backstabbing and are completely rude, ignorant, selfish to one another's needs. It's got Macaulay Culkin's little brother in it who plays this hideous man called Roman, actually, who is like the younger sibling of the family. And it's got Matthew McFadden in it again, who I love and adore. But yeah, Succession, I think it's already on to season 4, maybe 5 now. I've had lots of friends that have watched it that are way ahead of me. Laurie and I are really enjoying it. There's lots going on. Worth watching.
Wonderful. Well, there's quite a lot to be getting on with there. Just never leave the house again. I'm really interested in Clickbait, to be honest. That's one that kind of
very good. I've got a couple of little sneaky news items.
Go on then, quick.
Yeah. So, have you seen? There's a trailer that has dropped for the reboot of Fresh Prince.
Yes.
Reboot of Fresh Prince.
Yes.
It's a gritty,
darker.
It's a gritty drama, and it was triggered. A fan produced a fan trailer back in 2019 that showed how that, like, the more real life gritty. And Will Smith has gone ahead and produced it. It does look good.
Yep.
Just on that, did anyone watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion?
No.
Now that is a good reunion, in the way that they do all the lovely reunion things. But what is interesting about that whole thing, I don't know if you remember, but Aunt Vivian was replaced after 2 seasons, and they bring the original actress back, and there's, we hear about why she left and didn't get on with the cast, some of the cast, and there was real animosity. And so really seeing her and Will talking it through, and how she'd lost her opportunities. I mean, that was fascinating in itself. And then you've got Carlton doing his dance, which is always worth watching.
Yeah, of course.
So if you can catch that somewhere, it's worth it. Right. So I'm going to give you a choice.
There's just a few things to look forward to, because I think that was one of the criteria that you said for us to write down what we're looking forward to this year. I know that Afterlife season 3 is now available, so that I'm going to watch. Flight Attendant, I think, is coming in March, season 2.
Oh, March!
I think so. You've got Good Omens season 2 coming, and I am really looking forward to the return of His Dark Materials, which I think is autumn.
Oh,
yes.
Boring.
Well, I got sent on a clickbait wild goose chase today, trying to track down. They reckon
kill people.
They were saying release date for season 2 of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, really?
And basically, they sent me on about 4 different clicks, and it was just to go, there is no date.
There is no date. Yeah, exactly.
Why are you lucky? Right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's me. Over and out.
All right. Oh gosh!
What are you going to make us watch, James?
I've got two choices. All right. So I'm going to let you two decide which you want to watch. So you can decide between yourself. You don't watch one each. You've got to decide which one we're going to do.
Okay, we've both got to watch the same one.
Okay, we're all going to watch the same one. Okay.
Pen at the ready.
The first one, which was what I was going to choose, is a series which I've really enjoyed. It's on season 3 now. And it is called Doom Patrol, and it's basically flip it. We're going to go with Doom Patrol.
Why?
Because I really like it, and I want you to watch it. They're short seasons, and it's basically about 4 characters who are very unlikely superheroes. You've got a woman who is a very, very famous film actor from the 1950s, who's vile and horrible and very, very vain. And she basically gets infected by something which makes her skin melt into like a blobby thing. So, she just becomes mush every time she gets stressed. You've got Brendan Fraser.
All right.
Plays, and he's put on a lot of weight, that guy, but he plays this vile 80s racing driver. He's sleeping around and all this kind of stuff, and he gets in an accident, and basically this all happened in the first 10 minutes of the first episode. He gets his brain put in a robot, and we're like a really old 80s kind of style robot. You've got a guy who has completely burnt, so he's covered in bandages, and you have got a young woman who has 80 different personalities in her head, and they all come out and have different powers. And James Bond, not the last one, the one before. What's his name? Not the one after Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton.
Pierce Brosnan.
That's him. He plays like that. The guy, the inventor who brings all these people together. It's really funny.
Okay.
I started watching season 1 of that ages ago.
Right, and you tailed off, did you?
Well, I just got consumed with other things, so I don't know.
Give it a go.
What channel is it on?
It is on, right. So it's the add-on to Amazon, so it's like £2 a month, basically.
Star Plays.
Yeah.
Oh, Star Plays. Okay.
Yeah. So what
there's some good stuff on there, Deborah, as well.
Give season 1 a watch, because I've watched season 1. If you can go further, go further. season 3 is a corker. It's a real, and it's got season 3's got the Scottish woman from the Green Wing in it. The crazy woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she.
What? Tell me what the other option.
What was the other? Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you because you'll just say you want to do it.
Please, go on, just tell us, please. I might just watch it anyway.
Well, you are going to watch it because you've already mentioned it. It was Afterlife. I was going to.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I've watched Afterlife and it's good, but I want something happy to talk about, really. So,
good.
Give
yeah,
it a go.
I'm
if
holding
you can
off on
only get to
Afterlife
season 1,
at the
do season 1. But I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you hate it, I don't care. We can talk about that too.
Cool. Lovely.
Right. So I suppose that's it. I'm going to go and watch all these recommendations now.
Yeah.
There's some good
the
telly there.
The Girl Before, yeah.
Oh.
The Girl Before.
I'm interested in Anne as well.
Please watch it. It's just vital viewing. It's very important to furnish yourself with the real truth.
But most importantly, if you do get a few minutes, go on our Facebook page and watch that lovely trumpeter.
Trumpeter.
Goodbye, everybody.
Ta-ra! Ta-ra!
Someday you'll be sorry. The way you treated me was wrong. I was the one who taught you all that you know. Then new friends found you and made you sing another song. Oh, good luck. Maybe with you. But for the future, have no fear. There won't be another. Not to treat you like a brother. Someday you'll be sorry, dear. Brother John on the trombone. Someday you'll be sorry. The way you treated me was wrong. I was the one who taught you all that you know. Then new friends found you and made you sing another song. Oh, good luck.